What's going on, Dodgers Nation, ladies and gentlemen? If you love the Dodgers and you want to see another one of these videos, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel so you get all the latest Dodger updates as much as I can keep up with them. Now here, we're going to talk about a guy that we have been mentioning all this time. Duncan Dye has been mentioning it, but it is Clayton Kershaw. So Clayton Kershaw, as you know, well, first off, the lockout is over. As we've been discussing on this channel, there's no more lockout. Free agency frenzy is on. Everybody's excited about it, minus the owners. But anyway, now we get to talk about signings, and Clayton Kershaw is signing back with the Dodgers. He got a $17 million yearly contract, so it's going to go year by year. He doesn't have to prove anything, and we're going to get to that, but it's a contract plus incentives. Oh, my headphones fell. So, those incentives could be escalators. It could be certain benchmarks that if he reaches a certain thing, then they'll give him more money or something like that. We don't really know. All I know is that Kershaw's back, baby. The Dodgers are back. Baseball is back. And there's a lot of things that we got to discuss here. The first thing is, Clayton Kershaw is a guy that, you got to think about how he fits in the Dodger lineup. Right now, you've only got Andrew Heaney, Tony Gonsolin, and Julio Urias and Walker Buehler. But now you need another guy, kind of like your number 3 starter in Clayton Kershaw, because we don't know what's going to happen with Trevor Bauer. Right now he's on administrative leave. I'll do a video on that hopefully. And then there's also, of course, Dustin May. Dustin May is still battling with TJ, with Tommy John surgery. His arm is a lot better, I'm sure, because he's been throwing. But again, he's also been not able to practice in those facilities because of the lockout. So now he should be back probably July, August. But again, that might be delayed, even pushed back even further. The reason it would be pushed back is just because of the fact that he couldn't use those facilities. But you need a starter in Kershaw. Now look, is he the Kershaw of 2008 of 2008, of 08 to 2016 Kershaw? No. Now, his ERA is still good. His F-WARP is still good. His WAR is amazing. His K percentage is amazing. The strikeouts that he gets. He still has that amazing slider. His slider is actually one of the best in Major League Baseball. That his fastball is awesome, but we use him. We see him use more of his slider than his fastball. So, Clayton Kershaw, sometimes he gives us those games, especially the one against the Cubs last season, where he gave us that vintage. He gave us that vintage Kershaw, where he really, really came up and did incredibly well. I think we're going to get that kind of guy again, if he stays healthy and his arm isn't that bad, because if you remember that game where he came out, his arm didn't look so good. Everyone thought he would need TJ, and then the way he was holding that ball, it really seemed like, oh my God, this is his last starting game in the MLB. And as a Dodger and in the MLB, I went over that Dodgers Nation article that said that, and it is that kind of thing. But if he remains healthy, Clayton Kershaw can still be vintage Clayton Kershaw. Now, he is the first pitcher to ever hit $200 million when the Dodgers signed him and put the ink on that paper for $215 million back in, I think, 2014, 2015, a 7-year contract. And then they gave him another, I think, like $180 million or $80 million in 2018. So, again, Clayton Kershaw is needed and wanted by the Dodgers. This is a guy who is most likely going to hopefully not retire too soon. But when he does, if he does really, but when he does, then he will have a statue at Dodger Stadium, and he will have that, he will have that retirement ceremony. And he even said that the guy who owns or manages the Texas Rangers, he said he's a really good friend of mine. It was tough to place that call, but I need to be on a team that's going to be in World Series contention, that I can get a World Series championship with. And unfortunately, Dallas, Texas is just not that kind of team anymore. It's not there. So unfortunately for them, they could not get Kershaw, and that's exactly what he's been waiting for. Clayton Kershaw finally got his ring, but he's not against getting another one. And now that Freddie Freeman is out with the Braves, meaning that he's not there, and neither is Jorge Soler, then there you go. So if Soler and Freeman are good, then, and if we can get either one or both, that would be nice. We'll discuss that with Duncan. But, this is a guy who can really give you all that you need, the Kershaw that we all love when he is healthy. So I'm just excited, and by the way, he doesn't have to prove himself anymore. This is a contract where he's not on for 5 or 6 more years, 3 years, 2 years. He can go, yes, still put on a good performance so that they'll sign him again if he did want to keep playing and if he could stay healthy. He doesn't have to prove himself anymore. Back then, it was like, can Kershaw do it? Can Clayton Kershaw do it? Oh, I think he's failing. He's failing. And finally, after they won the World Series, they were like, oh, now I don't have to say this about Kershaw. Now I don't have to say that about Kershaw, which you shouldn't have been saying that anyway, you shitheads. But either way, Clayton Kershaw doesn't have to prove much. We all know how great he is. We all know how great he can be. I know people are concerned with the decrease in velo and the decrease in the mileage, and it's fine. But again, this is a big day for Dodger fans that, last week, Clayton Kershaw signed with the Dodgers again for a $17 million deal. Now, with incentives, it's a team-friendly deal, right? But it's also saying that, look, Kershaw, we love you. We want you back. I could not see him in a Rangers uniform. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. Now, Clayton Kershaw said that the lockout was actually a blessing for him and his wife because they didn't have to make that quarterly decision. He said it at training camp in the interviews where he said, Andrew Freeman didn't do that to me, and we didn't have to make that decision as fast as we would have had the lockout not been happening, and maybe we wouldn't have had Clayton Kershaw back. I don't know. We can't say. We don't know. But thank God that we don't have to know that, and that Clayton Kershaw will be staying with the Los Angeles Dodgers at least for another year, maybe as a starter. Trevor Bauer, if they ever freaking leave him alone, because there's going to be a fight there. If he does come back and pitch for the Los Angeles Dodgers, we've gone over the problems there, then, we'll have to wait there. Dustin May, we got to wait too. So, Clayton Kershaw, he's like he said, he's going to try and pitch an inning at a time. As the days go by, he'll add and keep stacking those innings, get his arm ready for the regular season. And even then, he's got to have at least 30 starts before the postseason. So who knows what's going to happen. All I know is I'm super excited that Clayton Kershaw is back, baby. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press the post notification bell and like this video. Share it with your friends and family so you never miss another one of these videos. And I will see you guys next time.